Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Joe Thunder back once again with another episode of the Smoking Joe Thunder podcast. I got my homie Elvis Freshly in the building. What's good, G?
Yo, chilling, man. What's up with you?
Chilling, living la vida loca.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
like that?
Trying to, bro.
Okay,
Got it. We was talking about this earlier. Shit, we got to make all this time count, brother.
Facts.
That's it,
Man, we ain't young like you, shit.
Oh, no, hey, I'm
Hey, you the Fonz or what?
getting there.
Hey.
Hey, real quick, shout out to our official sponsor, Be Good Dispensary. They're over there on 11 West Hamden,
114th and Cherokee Street in North Glen, Colorado.
across from the Boondocks.
You already know.
We got another banger for you, man. We got motherfucking OG. I don't want to say OG, but he's OG in the motherfucking building. I don't know where to start. Some people call him an asshole. Some people know him as a producer. Some know him as a radio personality. MC. I mean, the list goes on and on. His name's Lenny in the motherfucking building. What's going on, G?
Yeah.
What's happening, man?
Welcome, man.
How you been?
Thank you for coming through.
Living.
Our history kind of goes back like a long time,
We go way back, man. Like
It doesn't
way,
seem
way
like
back.
way back, but it's been way back, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, I mean, from days of what? The Snake Pit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lazy Sundays, chilling at your crib, doing our thing. You know
That's
what
what I
I'm
was
saying?
about to say. That's kind of like one of the first kind of things is, you know, doing the DVD and having you over. You're a freestyle fanatic, and you'd always love to come by the crib and just freestyle it up, right?
That was fun, man. And then what was the other DVD? The Mile High Madness.
Mile High Madness.
Yeah. I was like one of my first little editing things, putting those DVDs together.
Right, you gotta. I mean, this is back in the day when we were videotaping with little VHS cassettes.
We had to capture the tape.
Exactly, and he had to put it from tape to the computer on the DVD, and then
Oh,
he put
shit.
together a couple DVDs. He put a throwback DVD for the Mile High Madness. And what's crazy about that DVD is I seen this not too long ago, and there are literally 3 performances back to back to back, and there's another performance and then another person, and all those people have passed. It starts off with King Mississippi, R.I.P. Then it goes to DJ Fame, Deuce Mob, R.I.P. And then Dez is next.
Damn.
And then I don't remember who the 4th one is, bro. But it's like I saw that shit and I was high as a motherfucker. And I got sad, bro. I was like, damn, like these motherfuckers all passed. And it's
Captured
like,
the history, man.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's it.
I mean, you know, everybody tells their stories and they give their list and shit like that, but like those people ain't really paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And there's no disrespect to the people that show up on the list every single time, but them is the only ones that like really like. There's more to Colorado than the certain individuals that are on the list.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even the people that are making the list, man, there's no credibility. Like y'all ain't did nothing, man. So
Yeah.
you know,
if
but
you
keep
ain't
making
put
the
in
list.
no work, you can't even give your opinion on that. And if you jumped into something and you haven't, I don't want to say, I guess, necessarily been there from the beginning, because I wasn't there from the beginning, but I got years in. You know what I mean? And I started with real ones. I just didn't come in and take the hottest motherfuckers, you know, that the West would have said was hot and start fucking with them. I started from the ground and kind of learned, you know, who I wanted to fuck with in the game. And, you know, it was contact. It was ground zero movement. You know what I mean? Like I said this a million times, I didn't know anyone before I got into music. The only 2 cats I knew was Dez and my homie Greg T. And, you know, Dez was one of the top in the city, like, all time, R.I.P., you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's
I remember Dez and the Under Pressure movement, man. It was a damn shame what happened, because I remember going to their release party. It
That
was
shit
him
was
and
wild.
Allison and Day Day. You know what I'm saying? And when they had it, I was
She
like,
talked
yo.
about that. She said when they performed that song, when she did that song with Dez, it shut like the whole, not like shut it down, but it was a moment. You know what I mean?
Oh, when she walked out on stage, bro, and she started singing, like I never. That was like my first really trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? So when she walked out, like to me, they was on, because I remember going to the studio with them when they was at EMcees, and I remember them being at the studio, and I just seen, I was like, yo, these niggas is really doing it
They
for
were.
real, for real.
They were
You know what I'm
doing
saying?
it.
So that's what, you know, I kind of aspired to be, but you know, I mean, due to, I guess, my assholeism or whatever you want to call it, I just didn't really fit in. Like I fucks with them and they fuck with me, but I just didn't really, I didn't really move with their movement. I wasn't really a part of their movement. I respected
You was
it.
a little against the grain.
I wouldn't really say against the grain. I think my personality and just the way that I move kind of throws people off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm not
know.
with the, you know what I'm saying? I'm not with the coolness. And if you don't like what I got to say, hey, man, there's enough space and opportunity for you to eat and me to eat.
Right.
And as long as you ain't taking nothing off of my plate, then you ain't got to worry about me taking nothing off of yours. But we eating over here, and we going to continue to do so.
Right?
I don't care about no squad, no team, no movement and stuff like that. Like, I move and shake with whatever hood you from, whatever side you from. As long as you get down, we could get down. But if you bring that bullshit my way, then you going to find out what type of asshole Lenny Lenn really can be.
No, for real. And going back to the under pressure thing real quick, is I was watching a podcast the other day, and there's a connection with under pressure to Death Row and Reggie White. Reggie White talks about how he met the dude, and I don't know his name, but he met the dude that started the Under Pressure, and he was wanting to be some big baller, and he was trying to go to LA and do that shit, and Reggie White was his security. And he name drops Day-Day's name. He's like, yeah, they had a record label in Colorado, in Denver. He's like, I ain't gonna say no names, I'm gonna talk about the cases and all that, but you can look it up. They were fucking doing it, and like you said, they were on the verge of really blowing this shit the fuck up.
Oh, I don't know the whole story, man, so I can't really speak on, what was going on other than hearsay. You know what I'm saying? The streets is always talking, but whatever, let the streets talk. But what I do know for myself is what I saw, they was really on the verge of making some stuff happen, and just some rather unfortunate incidents.
They had that paper.
You know what I'm saying? It just went bad, and there was another record label that was out here that was kind of doing.
They had the billboard. They had the billboard. They had a fucking billboard, bro.
So I was
Mile
like, man,
High.
I was like, yeah, that was the first time I was ever in the studio.
It was Doe and all them. I don't know their name. Upset Records.
Upset.
They had billboards.
And then remember the other way, it was Rock Pile. Was it Rock Pile? They was doing some stuff because when I was with U102, they was super tough with messing with U102. And now, man, to be honest, bro, I can't even keep up with I've lost touch with the local scene so much. I don't know who's hot anymore, nor do I really.
What's popping?
I really, I'm out that loop. You know what I'm saying? As far as, I have my time, and it's time to, let the young new generation do what they do. Like, I kind of sit back. I'm just like what they say, gangsters get fat and move to Miami. I mean, I ain't really no gangster, but like when it comes to the game, like this game, like, I didn't move to Miami, but I sit in a rocking chair and I just kind of chill, and I just live off of being what I do. You know what I'm saying? My checks don't say Lenny Lenn. My checks say Leonard Jackson. So that's who I go by. Lenny Lenn it was fun while it lasted, bruh. I had a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, we jumped way ahead of the game, man. Tell them who you are, where you from, you know what I mean? All that good stuff, being that this your first time.
Man, Leonard Jackson, Leonard Roy Jackson II. That's my government. Some call me Lenny Lenn. Born and raised Denver, Colorado. Grew up on the east side, 80205.
Where'd you grow up in the east side?
I grew up off 34th and Madison.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That would be the main intersection. So Bruce Randolph, but I really lived off of 37th and Madison.
Okay.
Went to Harrington Elementary School. I went to Cole, and then that's when they started busing, trying to get some color into the non-colored section. So I went to South.
Hey, did you know the homie Butter?
Butter.
And he had an older brother that played football too, and they lived in a big ass like house right there on 34th. And his mom started the record pool that Chones and them ended up getting the radio bums.
Okay, I don't think I
his
really
name was
knew
Shelly.
them. Shelly?
Yeah, and I can't remember his brother's name, but they played football.
I might know him if I see him, man, but the name's not really ringing a bell. So hopefully if they hear this and they like, yeah, they know us. No disrespect to y'all, but
they homies.
But Butter, didn't he have like a restaurant, or he had some family with the restaurants or something?
Maybe
with sheds or something.
That. I'm not sure.
I could be talking about a different Butter, man. Butter's like a,
Because Madison's between Steele and Colorado Boulevard, right?
Yeah. Madison is like 4 blocks away from Steele, because it's Madison, Cook, Adams, Steele.
Did you go to Harrington?
Yeah. I went to Harrington. Harrington's was off of 37th and Steele. I used to walk to Harrington.
Yeah, my homie Albert used to live across the street from Harrington too. He was a baller.
Albert. I might know
right
Albert.
Across the street, like all play basketball, you know what I mean? All in the rap, on the hip hop.
Tall, dark-skinned dude?
Yeah.
Did they call him something else?
Man, that's a long time ago,
Was
bro.
he in a group?
Yeah.
Black Hole Posse?
Nah, that
Not
was
that
different.
one? Okay.
The homie Shelly lived a block away from where they would kick it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I
and
grew
that
up in
big ass brown.
They might have been older than I was though. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was a kid,
I was gonna ask you how old you are, but I didn't want to ask you.
I'm 43.
Oh, so y'all, I'm older than you.
Yeah, I'm 43. I'm not one of them dudes that try to act like I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Try to be cool, dyeing my hair and covering up my grays and shit. I embrace my age, man. I didn't make it to 43 being no goddamn fool.
When you were a freshman, I was a senior, so yeah, we a little older than you.
Where'd you go to school at?
TJ.
Okay, I went to TJ for 1 semester. My mom messed up and let me go in the middle of the semester, and I was the new kid. And when I went there, it was weird because it was a lot of Crips
that
went there. But I was like, y'all live in Park Hill. How the fuck does that happen? I didn't understand how that worked. Like I didn't understand how Crips lived in Park Hill. But you know, ignorance is bliss sometimes.
The majority of the Crips from TJ were from the east side, but there were a couple from Park Hill, and I remember my homie Leroy was a Crip,
and he family members. You know?
He lived like a block away from the Dahlia.
Okay.
And what was crazy is, like you said, we had a bus full of Crips because they all played football. And we would go right by the fucking the hilltop right there with all the Bloods on it when they're dropping us off for practice.
And TJ was in the middle of a white neighborhood too, so they were trying to get the urban kids to go to these schools.
That's why we were so good in football.
Yeah,
because we had all the fast fools from the hood, and then we had all the big white boys from the fucking suburbs from there, and like that's the mix. You know what I mean? And that's why we won a state championship. That was the first Denver on Denver state championship. One of the best state titles I've ever seen. It was Thomas Jefferson versus Montbello, and it literally went down to the fucking last 20 seconds. Like, we scored a touchdown to go up by 2 points, and these fools did like a hook and lateral and took it down to the 5. And it's crazy because my homie Andy Ledbetter, he was like I don't know if we were freshman or sophomore, but he was the only one on varsity, and he saved that touchdown. And he fucking, like, the next play they ran it and he stopped it again, and we fucking stopped him like on the 5-yard line with time running out and won by 2 points. The state title. That shit was lit.
I believe that. Yeah, no, TJ, they wouldn't let me back. I literally failed every single class. The attention was too much. Like I said, I was a new kid, and the attention was pretty overwhelming. So I was like, school, and I got straight Fs. You went to Manual?
I went to Manual. I was at the tail end of busing.
I should have went to Manual. I live closer to Manual. Like I said, I went to Cole, which was literally across the street down there.
It was just that I was at the tail end of busing. I'm from Swansea, so we got bused out to Grant for middle school. Elementary school, we went to Whitman.
Okay, Whitman, yeah.
They were called it Whitman. I don't know, teachers called it Whitman.
Right.
I went to
Whitman Elementary School.
I went to Whitman and Merle.
And not Whiteman, though.
Whiteman.
Yeah, Whiteman.
Laura Air Force Base. Yeah, Laura Air Force Base.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, see, and that's what they called it, Whiteman. Later on, it was named after Walt Whitman. And I was like, damn, why did they call it Whiteman?
You know why.
I know why now. But, you know, it was crazy getting off of that and then going to Manual right after that. Because we were from Swansea. We stayed in Swansea. Swansea is its own little neighborhood, you know, and then like that was the time I thought I hooped and shit, you know. I thought I was a dope ass hooper. I always tell, and then high school hit and I went to Manual and I realized real quick that I don't hoop.
You was good on the Swansea circuit.
Oh, yeah, no, great. I was great on the Swansea circuit. It was all of us little short Mexicans playing against each other.
That's too funny.
I just happened to be the best one over there. But then I went to Manual and realized real quick it was literally a whole different ballgame.
That's wild. I know what was crazy about where we grew up, man. Like, if you lived across on Steele, you went to South.
Yep.
If you went where we lived, you went to TJ. If you lived before York, you went to Kennedy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it was literally like 3 different schools within, like you said. That's why, I mean, that's how you get Crips in Park Hill. Like, we're all in the hood, but we're all going to different schools.
Yo, it was crazy, though. We did take, like, we were all writing graffiti and doing just, like, hood shit from where we were from, and then all these other kids are skateboarding over there, you know, and like we learned how to skateboard from them. They learned how to write graffiti from us. Like they were doing, it was a really cool little crossover that happened, and like I think that's what made Denver so dope, and like the subcultures, you know, the skateboarding, the bike riding, all that shit, and the graffiti and the break dancers. Everybody mixed, everybody chilled together, everybody knew each other. Denver was a lot smaller back then.
Right.
And it was a cool little vibe, and everybody knew each other, even tired of each other because you see each other at every fucking show, everything, all the time. But it was dope, you know. It was a really cool little thing we had. But I remember seeing that crossover happen between those cultures. Like, we didn't know no skateboarding. We couldn't even afford no fucking skateboards.
Yeah,
You know?
skateboarding was for the
I was
white
gonna
kids.
say,
That was for the white
we
kids.
just rode bikes.
That was it. It was for the white kids. And then when they're like, "Hey, check this out," I'm like, "What?" You know, it was cool experiencing that. And I went downtown. I was trying to get out of Swansea.
Oh yeah, I was on the bus everywhere, bro.
I was like, "I'm going downtown." We're following the train,
everywhere.
you know. And that was it. We went
Everywhere.
downtown, kicked it at Skyline Park. I was trying to get away, but it was dope. Found like hip hop and like skateboarding and shit like that. It was. I feel like it was because a lot of it had to do with busing. You know, so yeah, they were definitely trying to get the money for having a culturally diverse school.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I understand that 100%, but at the same time, there were some cool things that came out of it.
Oh,
There was a
absolutely.
little bit of
Oh, yeah.
cross-culture. But damn, that was fucked up. Like, you know, we could have like built our own communities up, built each other up. I mean, it was gangbanging up. That time.
It was definitely gangbanging.
Because we didn't go to Cole. You know, I'm right there by Cole. You know, I'm not too far. It's right down the way. It's closest middle school to me. Bruce Randolph didn't exist yet.
Right.
And so, obviously, I'd go to Cole, but we went to Grant and Merrill. Bust.
Hey, what were some of your first introductions to hip hop? Some of your early influences. What kind of
Mine?
made you get into that shit?
I would say like early on, we had got an NWA tape, and we was listening to it. Me and my brother was listening to it, and my grandma heard it and was like, "What is this shit?" And she threw it outside. And then, one of the big homies had a DJ Quick album, and he was bumping DJ Quick, and I was just like, man, I ain't never heard no shit like this
Right.
in my life. And then the Chronic, I remember when the Chronic first dropped, I think I was in the 8th grade. It was
Damn,
like
bro.
right after Christmas break, the Chronic dropped. And I remember listening to it, and I was like, shit, man. I was like, yo, he sampled all the Parliament and all the, you know what I'm
All the
saying? Like,
funk.
because my pop used to listen to
You're
that
already on the
shit.
funk.
So
So
I
you-
was like,
you recognized
these is
it.
old songs, but that's when I kind of found out like what sampling was and stuff like that. So I kind of dabbled into it, but it wasn't really until Outkast came out when I first heard Players Ball, and I remember going to K Fashion off of Colfax, and they sold singles, cassette singles,
Right.
and they had that Outkast Players Ball single when it came in like the little cardboard
Yep.
wrap, and I got that shit, man, and me and Jay used to listen to that shit every single day. Like, we knew the words like backward and forward. And then when the album came out and we started listening to that and listening to Goody Mob, and the whole Organized Noise, like, that's when it was like, yo, like, we might be able to do this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
They doing it.
And Jay used to take like this old tape recorder, and the battery case had fell out, so we had to use duct tape to hold
duct tape.
hold the batteries in. And he used to just walk and hold the tape recorder, and he would tell niggas to rap, like just freestyle. But he was like, make sure you stay on beat. And he would take that tape, and my dad bought us this little karaoke machine where you could dub the tapes. And we would take the vocal tape and take another cassette and record the vocals, and Jay would actually play the keyboards over it, over and over again. No loops, no sequencers, no none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And we started just making little tapes and stuff like that. You know, thought it was cool. But it wasn't until we had went to a party when I was in high school, because I remember we used to tell niggas we could rap all the time. And we was at a party, Kid Capri was DJing, and one of my homeboy, he had opened the mic, and my homeboy was like, yo, I'm gonna get on the mic. And I was like, nah. And the first dude that got up there and started rapping, and I was like, this nigga's trash.
Right.
So I just looked at my partner and was
Go
like,
for
hey,
it.
man, I said, man, pass me the mic. And the dude looked and was like, nah, if you gonna rap, you gotta get up on stage. And I was like, well, shit, fuck it then, let me go. Because I was telling, my girl at the time, I was like, yo, I could rap, so this was my chance to kind of show out.
Right.
And I remember rapping, and when I was done, I just dropped the mic. Because
Pulled
I was
one of
like, I
those
was on
moves,
some
yeah.
cocky shit, like, you know what I'm saying, dropped the mic, and the crowd was just like, oh, shit. And I remember Kid Capri was like, man, you pretty nice. And that was it. I was just trying to impress the chick.
Right.
But then after that, I just kept going and didn't think nothing of it until I went to school. When I finally went to school and went to CU, and I took this music class, and there was all these white boys in class, and we had a songwriting class. And he was like, yo, you should come to the crib, and we could record a song at the house. And I was like, all right, bet. And went to his crib, and he had this little equipment. He had an MPC, he had an SP1200, and this little 4-track recorder. And we recorded the song, and I was like, yo, where the fuck you get this shit from? And he was like, oh, there's this store called Pro Sound, man, you should go. I remember the next day I caught the bus up there and was looking at the stuff, and I was like,
shit.
oh, this shit's
that shit inspired the fuck
kind
out
of
of you.
affordable.
Yeah.
So I remember, man, I told my brother, I was like, dude, I'm taking all my bread and I'm gonna go buy this 4-track, a microphone, and some headphones, and the shit came to $476. I'll never forget it. I bought all that shit, and you couldn't tell. That was the first studio.
Right.
We was on, and we was just recording shit.
What year was this?
This had to be 98, like 98, because I had just graduated high school. And, you know, I was doing my thing, you know, as far as, you know, ways to get money and stuff like that, because, you know, I always knew how to make paper, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, I did that, but, like, my parents kept us in the house, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I didn't really step off the front porch, you know what I'm saying? I was in the house messing with video games and messing with this music equipment and trying to figure out how to do this type of stuff. And, you know, I was like, well, let me try to find out. And that's when I started working in the radio, because I thought going into the radio would have made me a famous rapper.
That seems to be the blueprint.
And I got into the radio.
How did that happen, though? Like, did you just apply, or were you taking classes, or talk about that?
How it happened was I was in school, and at the time they had this little bulletin, you know what I'm saying, where you could get like internships and shit like that. Okay. So I needed an internship, and there was this station U102, and I remember listening to them, and I was like, yeah, they kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was playing some shit that I liked, that, you know, I thought that they could compete with KS. Because I always wanted to I hated KS. I always wanted to go at their head, you know what I'm saying?
Especially when they try to pay you in concert tickets.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Or not pay you at all.
Right.
But I ended up going to the place, and I remember applying and talked to the dude, had my resume and everything, and he was like, yo, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 21. He was like, good, because I need somebody that could get into the clubs, and can't nobody else get into the clubs, so you're hired. But I wasn't making no money. I was really getting paid in fucking concert tickets, T-shirts, and fucking Del Taco swag. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But I got to go to the clubs, and I got to have access to these DJs and shit like that. So it was like, that was the beginning. That's where Lenny Lenn kind of was born.
How'd you get the name?
It's really on some gangbanging shit, though.
Are you a gangbanger?
No, I'm not.
I was gonna say, I've never known you to be a gangbanger.
I'm just, I know people that were. And
you're like the rest of you're affiliated, so sometimes you get a nickname, right?
And one of my release was like, yo, I went to the studio where they was at, and I had on a Terrell Davis jersey, a blue one with 30, and I walked in, and the people that was there wasn't
having it.
It wasn't about them 30s.
They wasn't about them 30s, we'll say. And,
okay, so it wasn't the blue.
One dude was like, hey, he was like, nah, and then the big rally was like, yo, he was like, hey, he was like, nah, man, he a square, man. He don't bang or nothing. He a square, he a nerd. He was like, man, what's your name? And I was like, my name's Leonard. He was like, nah, fuck that. We gonna call you Lenny Lenn from now on. And just so happened they threw a beat on and we started rapping. Mm-hmm. And I said it in a rhyme. And I spelled it out, and that's where the Lenny, Lenn comes from. And I said that, and them niggas was like, oh, shit. Man, we need to fuck with them. Uh-huh. And that's pretty much how it got. And then even when I got into the radio, he was like, what's your name? And I was like, Leonard. He was like, nah, man, you need a name to go by.
Leonard ain't cutting it.
So I just like, fuck it. They call me Lenny Lenn. And that's pretty much how it started. But I definitely got my name from a gangster. You know what I'm saying? He's locked up right now. You know what I'm saying? He probably ain't never gonna get out. I ain't gonna say his name or nothing like that, but they know what's up.
Where were you? Was it Park Hill? Was it the East Side?
Oh no, I was in Aurora. I was in Aurora at the time. Yeah, I was living in Aurora.
So your skills are like kind of paying off, and it was starting to get you places, right? Where did it kind of get you? Got you to the radio. How was that?
Radio was like, man, it was crazy because like when I did the U102 thing. That was cool. Wasn't no money, but like the fame, like they knew who we was. Then I got laid off. And if you work in radio, you're gonna get laid off. So I thought it was over. I thought it was over. So I had to go back to a regular fucking job, which was lame. And after that, I had ended up getting a call from the radio station, and they was like, yo, we can't really pay you much, but it'll get your foot in the door. And I was like, all right, well, bet. Well, who is it? And it was Lewis and Floor Wax. And Lewis and Floor Wax is definitely not my format. Yeah. But Lewis and Floor Wax, hands down, is probably the biggest morning show to ever touch Colorado. Like, you could talk about Larry, Kendall, and Kathy. You could talk about, like, the Jamie and I forget the other dude's name, whatever. But you could talk about them. But Lewis and Floor Wax was, like, the shit.
Right. It's like Kim back in the day.
So I remember when I met him, I came in, I had a suit on and everything like that, and they walked in, and I remember Wax was like, what the fuck, we getting sued? What you wearing a suit for? Who is this guy?
He's like, y'all getting sued.
So, you know, I was working with them for a while, and I remember they had asked me what I did, and I was telling them I was rapping, and they was like, well, you got some stuff out? And I was like, man, I'm trying to put some stuff out, but, man, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, well, what do you need? Because this was when I did that Commercially Underground album. Okay. And I was like, yo, I wanted to press up 1,000 CDs. And he was like, how much is that? And I was like, shit, probably like 1,200. And they was like, all right, bet. Commercial break. They go take a break. They come back. Each of them handed me a check for $650.
Damn.
And was like, make sure you do something with this. And I was like, fuck. Like, I ain't never had nobody do that shit. So I was like, all right, bet. So did that. I went to press up the CDs, but the very next day they called me into the office for the radio station, and I was double dipping. So I was working, but I was doing a side gig at the radio station, getting paid by the hour.
Right.
So HR had ended up finding out that I was putting in all these extra hours and not getting paid for it. And they was like, ooh, we don't really want to get in trouble, so we're going to try to make this right. So literally they had to back pay me for a year worth of overtime.
Oh, shit.
And that check ended up being about $12,000 after taxes.
Fucking A, brother. You put that in the music, right?
I took that check. I went back to Lewis and Floor Wax, and I handed them their checks back. I didn't even cash them yet. I handed them the checks back and was like, I appreciate this, y'all, but I don't need the money now. I'm good. And they kind of looked at me, and they respected it because they knew what time it was. So put the CD out, started getting shows and stuff like that, and ended up getting, at one time I had 6 different shows in Colorado. I had 6 different shows, and some of them was hip-hop. Some of them wasn't. Like, I was on KBPI, which was a rock station, but I got a chance to do a show called Sunday Night Fusion, where the program director, Willie B at the time, let me play hip-hop and rock. That was unheard of. I didn't have a play. I never had a playlist.
That's dope, bro.
And it was like we played what we wanted. And then we did the Mega show. Me and Psycho did that show on Mega. I helped start 96.1 The Beat in the Springs. I had a show called Sunderground that I did from the crib. So that was cool. And then I ended up getting laid off again. And I was out of radio for like 10 years. And opportunity came up for KS 107.5 when producer Wiggins left. So they was looking for a producer, and I always wanted to work for KS. So I was like, all right, bet, I'm going to do this. So I applied for the job, and I knew I was like, I'm way more qualified. Like, y'all need me here. Right. And I really went in with that attitude. And I didn't realize the dynamics that was going on, because that's when they was really trying to break up the show. They was trying to split them up. They was trying to get rid of Kendall. They had this new fuckboy of a PD that didn't really know what he was doing and shit like that. And it was just a whole bunch of bullshit that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they ended up letting Kendall go. And me and Kendall was super cool. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, working with Kathy and Larry for a minute, they was cool too. No disrespect to them, but they ended up getting the bad end of the stick too. And they tried to string me along. And I thought for sure, like, yo, this is my end, you know, to go to get my own morning show and be a producer. And this is when they was, you know, they was doing some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I ain't really gonna get into it because there's still some bad feelings and stuff like that. But I ended up not getting the show or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because of some fuck shit that happened. And I was pissed.
Right. Did they like fucking like kind of some backstabbing shit?
Yeah, there was definitely some backstabbing stuff. Long story short, you know what I'm saying? Like, the program director at the time always used to preach greatness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, cool. So they kept promising me that this was my shot. Like, this was their words. Like, yo, once it's, you know, you're going to be good. And I remember having a conversation with somebody that used to be on the station that's no longer on the station. That was kind of a big deal. And I let him know exactly what was going on. And this fool looked me in my face. We actually had lunch at Buffalo Wild Wings. And he was like, yo, you gonna be good, man. You gonna be good, blah, blah, blah. So the very next day I go in, and these fools announced a new morning show. You know what I'm saying? With Chones, with Sadie's, and with Tony V. And I was just like, damn. Like, okay, well, they're still gonna need a producer. I didn't want to be the talent. I just wanted to be the producer. So I remember telling the program director, well, I thought you said you wanted good or great, not good, because he said it was a pretty good morning show.
Right.
And I was like, well, I thought you was looking for great. Well, this dude ended up going back and telling Tony, Chones, and Sadie's that I badmouthed them, which wasn't the case. Like, why would I badmouth something I wanted to be a part of?
Right.
So I noticed that I started getting a cold shoulder from all three of them. And nobody ever really said anything except Sadie's. Sadie's had called me to the side and let me know what was going on, which was surprising because I was actually more cool with the other two, and they never said nothing. So, long story short, I ended up getting on Facebook, and I made a post, and I was like, man, I hope everybody from fucking KS 107.5 gets fired. And I meant every single word of that.
Right.
Well, they got mad at that.
I'm sure your DMs blew up.
Yeah, and they were mad. And I guess they had a meeting and stuff like that. But, you know, long story short, you know, hindsight 2020, what I said was true.
Right.
And I'm not saying everybody got fired, but, you know, are they even relevant anymore?
Is even radio relevant? Shit, podcasting, where is that? Shit.
Yeah.
I ain't listen to radio and fucking...
I still listen to it because I think what the drop is doing is dope as fuck. I think so. And just coming from radio, I just like what they're doing.
They need to do more of it. Like, for real. No, I'm just saying. I'm keeping it real. Like, they do good, and they're doing what they do, but they need to do more of it, bro.
I mean, but even
there's,
still, like...
There's music that bangs that should be on the fucking radio every hour. Or at least dedicate a fucking Sunday. You know what I mean? One song an hour is cool.
I mean, everybody says what radio should do, and I get it because I was that person too, but I've also been on the other side of the game, and it's like those 10, 15 songs that, you know, you hear all the time. Those are the songs that people are requesting, and I know everybody sits there and be like, oh, well, radio's different in other states. No, it's not. Commercial radio is not different. Now, they have their specialty shows, you know what I'm saying, that's different, which we really didn't have specialty shows. And sometimes, depending on what format it is, because there's urban, there's rhythmic, top rhythmic, 40 and stuff like that. Denver does not have an urban station. You know what I'm saying? KS is what would be considered, I guess, top 40 hits or whatever. So they're not even considered an urban station. So the shit that we like, they're not even going to play.
Right.
And not only that, with the game the way it is now, no one listens to the radio for the new music. By the time they're talking about new music, we done heard that shit like 3-4 weeks ago, maybe months ago. So I don't think radio's really doing it. I think podcasts are kind of popping off now, you know what I'm saying? But even me personally, I have a feeling about podcasts just because I come from radio, and it's like, yo, everybody does a podcast now. All you got to do is grab a microphone, a little setup, and you too can have a podcast.
Right.
So it's definitely oversaturated. And the people that are doing it, that are making the money, it's no different than radio. There's certain people that was making money, and there's certain people that wasn't. I just happened to be one of the people that was kind of in between. I saw making money, I saw making no money, but I also saw people that was making money. Like, I've been to some of these people's cribs, and I'm like, y'all are rich, but it wasn't just radio. You got to figure out how to make
you gotta have a couple
your
things
side
cracking.
hustles for sure. So that was radio, and then that transitioned into TV.
Hey, what happened though after the Facebook, after that post? Did you part ways with them?
Oh, I had parted ways with them prior to that.
Prior
like
to
I
that?
was already, like, literally, I just got tired of it one day because they kept bullshitting me, and they had me doing like this board op and shit, which is like basic entry level shit, and they wanted me to do like all of the stations at night, and they offered me the overnights. And the dude that was doing overnights at the time, I was like, well, what's gonna happen to him? And they was like, yeah. And I was like, damn. So if I take this overnight job, then him and like 2 other people that ran the boards would lose their job too.
Right.
So that's 3 people losing their job. And I was like, all right, I said, I'll do it under one condition. I said, just give me full creative control. And they was like, nah, we can't really do that. And I was like, why not? Because they don't even check ratings on the overnight shift. You know what I'm saying? So ratings isn't a factor. There is an audience that listens to overnight radio, the graveyard shifters and stuff like that. I know how to produce a show. I could do my own imaging. Y'all don't have to pay for nothing.
Right.
I'm just asking for full creative control. And they couldn't even give me that, so they had me board hopping for $10 an hour. What the fuck am I going to do with $10 an hour? Dude, I'm driving. When I had to drive to the station, I used to pass the Good Times every day. And they would have a sign outside that said, now hiring $17 an hour. I could make more money working at Good Times than I can working for the fucking radio.
Right.
But then y'all look all cool when y'all get to go to these shows taking these fucking selfies with all these stars that don't give 2 fucks about you. And it was like, it was different when I was a kid in radio and then when I was a grown man in radio. And radio, man, I mean, to each his own, man. There's certain, but they stay in it so long. It's like even when I retired and stepped out the game for 10 years, I came back in and the same motherfuckers was doing the same fucking thing. And I'm like, man, where's the fucking growth? Like, you still trying to run your mouth on, hey, guys, it's Lenny Lenn on Kid. Man, dude, you sound goofy. So I just couldn't really do it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, do you?
No, I get it. You
So
know
that's
what I mean?
that asshole, I guess. But, you know.
No, real talk though is like, why do you want to keep doing like the same shit? You got to elevate some kind of way and make it interesting and bring new crowds in and all that shit.
I mean, I thought I was on when I was like, yo, when I get in KS, and I told the program director, he was like, man, what's your goal in 5 years? And I was like, to be in your seat. And he looked at me and I was like, what, you want to stay there for 5 years? Don't you have bigger aspirations? But nah, they just cool being
Right.
the program director and getting, you know, cool tickets and, you know, walking around with their little lanyards on.
Right.
Like you see them at the shows now. You could always tell the radio dude when you see him. It's almost like, I mean, they, you know, whatever.
Dude, I totally respect that shit that you just said right now, telling the, you know, telling him I want to be in your position. And when he looks at you crazy, you're like, what, you still want to be here? You don't want to advance either? That's wild, bro.
Nah, and then you're sitting there telling, like, most of the time the people that run these so-called urban hip-hop stations, yo, they don't even listen to the music that they promote. They just look at some list and be like, oh, well, they say it's hot, so you don't even know what the record is. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
what
you,
needs to be dope. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. At least the people over at the Drop kind of understand what it is, but they're still trying to run it like a radio.
Right.
But if you really was like, yo, in Colorado, what's the best thing for radio? Yo, it is the Drop, man. That's real
Yeah, I'll give him
talk.
that.
That's it.
I'll give them that. I'll listen to the Drop
Absolutely.
before I listen to anything else. And me and the people at the Drop don't even necessarily see eye to eye. But I still give credit where credit's due.
Right.
So I'll give them all props. Plus, they done played a couple of our songs on the radio, so I fucks with them a
Same.
little bit. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
they're dope. I
Yeah.
fuck with them too.
Hell yeah. You said you're out of the loop with the stuff that goes around in Colorado. Are you out of the loop with like the new music, the, you know, the little babies, the little fucking who else there is?
You know, I keep my ear to, you know,
music.
to music. Like, I definitely keep up with music. It's just nothing in Colorado comes across my desk, so to speak.
I'm gonna have to send you some shit.
Yes, I mean, I listen to pretty much anything, and if, you know, there's certain people that, you know, somebody will tell me about, or I'll hear a name on, you know, Facebook or, you know, on social media and stuff like that. So, you know, I kind of listen to it to see what's going on, but I just haven't really heard anything that's really moving. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if I want to hear Lil Baby, I'll listen to Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? If I want to hear some stuff from the Bay, I'll listen to some stuff from the Bay. I don't want to hear a Colorado artist that sounds like something I could already hear. Like, give me something that I haven't heard before.
Well, that's always been the issue. Is that I would say not now, but before they're always trying to imitate somebody. But what they don't understand is those people have been perfecting that for 10, 15 years. So they got it to the T. Whether, you know, it's Soulja Boy or any of those cats, where you're trying to do Soulja Boy and you sound shitty because you're not on point. You know what I mean? That's always been how it was. But now I think it's on a different level.
I mean, who's hot right now? Like, give me some people I should listen
They
to.
call him AP.
Okay.
Ghost.
I like AP. I definitely like AP. I like what him, and I like the whole Squizzy movement.
Yeah.
But when I talk about those lists, they seem to be the same names. And I'm like, that's the only people from Colorado we got. I fucks with AP. I like AP stuff a lot. I like Trev Rich.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like
Miracle's dope too.
I've always liked Miracle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He's part of, you know, about
you know what I'm saying?
I
I think Miracle probably is one of the most versatile, and I think he's starting to get some shine now. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about, because look how long he's been putting in the work crafting his style.
I mean, I remember chilling at Miracle's apartment, you know what I'm saying, where he just had his laptop sit up on the kitchen stand making beats and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, he fucks with 8 and all them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, I'm familiar and I see what's going on. But I think it's also a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like the old head, like back in my day.
Right.
But now it's like, yo, the access and the distribution methods are so easy. Like, you know, I remember actually having to go to the record stores and try to get shit on consignment and shake hands with the people and do shows.
That was a pain in the ass.
You know what I'm saying? Hanging your stuff up in the stores. Now all you got to do is just upload it, so it makes it a lot easier. But it also makes it more diluted, so it's like anybody could be a rapper.
Just like you said,
What'd
like,
you say?
yeah.
The reward is a lot less now,
Yeah.
unless you are doing big numbers, which is easier to do, but it is.
I mean, you could
harder.
buy bots and you could buy numbers and stuff like that, so you spend a little bit of money to make money and stuff like that. So, you know,
There's ways around it all, but
I just like making music, man. I don't really care about being a famous rapper. I like the creative control, you know what I'm saying? And doing music to me is like the only real way that I could truly be free. It's like pure freedom to me. I could say what I want. I could make whatever kind of beats I want. I could mix it. I could master it. I could put it out. And, you know, I mean, I don't make music that people's gonna dance to. You're not gonna sit there and get jiggy to the club to my shit and stuff like that. But if you actually sit and listen to it for a minute, you might pick up on some game, you know what I'm saying? Or even if you know me and you're wondering, hey, what's been going on with Lenn, listen to the music. You'll know exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, who are some of the old heads that you liked working with back in the day? You know, not back in the day. I say back in the day, like 10 years ago when we were kind of doing shit. Who are some of the heads you like working with?
I mean, some of my most memorable times, what really got it started, because it was like I was doing stuff for us. But when Said and Foe, or YG and Foe, had that idea for dispensary music, and I remember, you know, this was when dispensaries first opened up, like, you know what I'm saying? And they was talking about the idea, and I was like, all right, well, what do y'all want me to do? And they was like, man, can you mix it and just make it sound good? And maybe, you know, you got a camera, maybe do some recording of some shows and stuff like that. And I was like, shit, you know, whatever. So we had did that, and they started getting recognition and stuff on like the Westward, and you know what I'm saying, even with the beef with Quote and Iman, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, talk about that. I don't remember that.
It wasn't really, well, they came out with a dispensary music as well, so it wasn't really no beef or nothing like that.
But it was some copycat shit.
Yeah. And then after that, Midas had hit me and was like, hey, I'm working on the Son of the Crack Era album. He was like, man, I want you to make my shit sound like you did for the dispensary music. And I was like, bet. So I started working with Midas on his project, and like that shit ended up getting Album of the Year in the Westward and shit like that. So then people started calling,
right,
and was like, yo, can you master my stuff? Can you master it? And I was like, yeah. So I just started taxing, you know what I'm saying, $250 a pop, and I was doing about 4 a week.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, you know, the people that, like, you know, you're dealing with rappers, so you're dealing with different types of individuals from different hoods and different sides, and, you know, different, you know, this person don't like this person and stuff like that. And,
tell me about it.
You know, sometimes you meet up with these people and get your payment, and it's like a drug deal. Like, you know, you give them they CD or they flash drive, and they hand you the, you know, the money, and it's not like this was before Cash App days and shit like that, so they might hand you a roll of 20s, or, you know what I'm saying, you might have 1s, 5s, and 10s, you know what I'm saying?
Ones.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is, but my shit was always legit, you know what I'm saying? I never really dabbled, you know, into that type of stuff, even though I'm sure the majority of my income from that came from that.
Right. And if you didn't get that, rewind that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got to spell it out for you.
Then you don't need to get it if you don't
you know
get
what I'm
it.
saying? If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. But Yeah, that's really what got it. So, Foe, like Midas, I worked with Q Burst, which was like my favorite rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we had worked on a couple projects together, and you know, rappers turn into rappers.
Right. Now, I kind of want to ask this question, but I don't want to ask this question because you're kind of older. But like when you say Q-Burst, there are cats that are like kind of, there's elite, or there's real, you know, A+ rappers from the state throughout the years. But then there's those ones like Q-Burst that were kind of on a different level. Dez was on a different level. Who was the female rapper that just passed? Miss
Solo.
Miss Solo was on that level.
Miss
You know
Solo
what I mean?
was on our first, like Miss Solo. I fuck with Solo. You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P.
From day one, she was cool with my cousins, and I remember my cousin came over and was like, "Yo, I got this girl that could rap," and we was working on this album, Contender compilation. It was the very first album we put out, and she had came, and we was doing this song called Cold World, and played the beat and stuff like that, and I did my verse, and my brother did his verse, and she was like, "Yo, I think I got something." I was like, "All right," it was female, yeah, whatever, and she started busting,
Huh?
and I was like, I just looked at my brother, and we just started grinning, and I was like, "Yo, she is fucking ill as fuck," and we worked together a lot. She was pretty much on every project that we ever did.
For real?
Yeah, she was on every single project.
I didn't know that, man.
I did a couple videos for her. I did a video with her and Marvelous. And then I did another one of her videos called Damn. This was before she moved to Cali and was fucking with, was it EMcees, I think it was? Yeah, this was before that, but yeah, I always had, you know, respect for Solo, you know what I'm saying? She was even, I did a documentary on called Between the Lines about EMcees, and one of the segments was about female EMcees, and I used her, I used Bianca McCon, and I used Quay. You know what I'm saying? Cool Quay. You know what I'm saying? Because I know her pops. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pops went to TJ too.
Oh, okay.
But he played football at TJ.
What was his name?
Trey Waddles.
Probably younger.
He's older than me. He might be about your age, man. He was a running back for TJ.
I'm still a little older than you.
He would have. No, he's older than me though.
Nah, no, but I'm still.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's closer to your age. But yeah, them was the three females that I worked with. But yeah, Solo was dope. She's probably, I would say hands down, she's probably the dopest female rapper out here. I'd put her up against anybody.
Who else would you say is kind of elite like that?
I'd say Q Burst for sure was elite. Like, he was probably one of the dopest ones.
Did you ever fuck with him, or did you ever record with him?
Who?
Q Burst?
Yeah, Q Burst was at my house like every day. We did a whole album called Hoodies and Sneakers, the Adidas project.
Talk about that. You got mad history, bro. Like,
yeah.
you're talking about shit that I don't even know. And like I said, these are people who, and this is no disrespect toward anyone else, these are people that really were at the top, like ready to burst through.
Oh yeah, Q Burst was he was up there. Like, he was the first person I seen with a CD that was actually in the store. Him and fuck, I forget the other crew's name. It was, I just know it was Ace and Mad. Paradox, that's what it was. Paradox, yeah, Ace and Mad. I just know Ace and Mad, but Paradox. They was the first ones. They had a CD in Media Play. Was it Media Play off of 16th Street?
Okay.
And I was like, yo, these dudes is, you know, because that's how I met Q Burst, was from TJ. And I remember I was listening to DJ Quick's Safe and Sound album. And he was like, what you listening to? And I told him, and he put his headphones on and he started rapping to himself. And this was before Lenny Lenn. But I always remembered him. And we had ended up coming back into contact again. And I was like, he would just come over to the crib and we was just making music and, you know, stuff like that. And we did this album called The Adidas Project, Hoodies and Sneakers. It was all recorded in my basement off a MPC and a Roland VS 1680.
Right. You know
what I'm saying? We put that out, and I did his video to the puzzle. We did a video together. That's when I was doing the video thing. And
you do a little bit of everything, man. You're doing videos, mastering, rapping, making beats, radio.
Yeah. Like, that's pretty much the goal eventually, is to own my own production agency. I didn't want to just, because I was never limited. Like, I was the nerdy kid, like in school, like I was an arts kid. So I had to take dance classes. You know what I'm saying? So I took jazz dance. I took ballet. Like, I actually had to do a ballet recital. I would walk through the hood up and down 34th carrying a fucking cello. That's not gangster. You know what I'm saying? And this was in the mid-'90s where, you know what I'm saying, like, you might have had to step over a syringe or a crack vial, or, you know what I'm saying, somebody might, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was, you better not wear the wrong color on the wrong side of the boulevard. Like, you was getting smoked for starter jackets and shit, and here I am walking down the street, light-skinned nigga with a cello. Most people don't even know what that is.
Right.
So I stayed in the house, but other, like, the first, like, Black Hole Posse was the first one I ever seen with a tape, and these was like gangsters that was living in the neighborhood, and they had a tape. And then my homeboy Carl Banks, rest in peace, he was the first one that I ever seen like actually have a tape, and they was putting it in Spins and Sunshine, and was it Russell's on the east side? I think it was Russell's Records and Tapes on the E. He actually had a tape, like a cassette with their pictures and stuff that was shot in the hood. And that right there was just like, yo, those was my early influences. But then I was like, yo, I could definitely do this better. So as far as being a rapper, even doing the videos, but then I started doing it, and I was like, nah, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Because the money wasn't really there. And it was like I felt bad charging people to do like editing and stuff like that. But then it was like, yo, I'm getting this. Like, I'm already getting this rate, so I don't feel bad about telling you what my day rate is, because I'm already getting this now. And if I do your job, then I'm giving up this money. So in order for me to do this, like, I get the homie hookup, but it's like, yo, I could either do your project for, you know, most people, you tell somebody over $250 for a video, they gonna look at you and be like, huh? And they want you to use your equipment, you do the editing, you do the locations, you do this, and this, everything. Where I could just go to work and I could show up and sit at my desk using everything, and I could make $400 or $500 a day. Unfortunately, man, do the simple math, and if you want to really talk street number shit, like, let's talk street numbers. You gonna give up this amount of work for this amount of work? You probably ain't gonna do that. So let me just talk in the layman's terms that you might understand, lame man.
Dang.
I guess that's me being an asshole again, but we're gonna just go ahead and do it.
Hey, I mean, you're keeping it real. You know what I mean?
That's what it is, though.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to work and make $500, you know, for the day instead of the $250.
And I'm probably going to be working for, it's going to be more than a day, because you're going to want to you do this, and then you're going to want to go smoke. And then you want all your homie, right, and I ain't doing that shit. You know how much this equipment cost? Mm-hmm. My camera's more than your day, but what you're paying me. Like, nah, dude. And I used to tell people, you know, the up-and-comers that were trying to do videos at the time, like, yo, these local hip-hop videos ain't the shit, bruh. Right. It's really not. Like, you take your skills and you can make money, like real money. And that turned into me shitting on the scene and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm just telling you, like, I mean, you know, you want to spend, I know what camera you got. I know how much you spent for that type of shit, and I know the amount of work you're doing. You think that's cool? Nah, it's no different than working in the radio, getting paid concert tickets and fucking selfies. Right. You think that's cool. You think it's cool to hang out with these rappers so they could give you a plug on Facebook and say X amount of person did the videos. X amount of person did the videos. Some of these same people, they couldn't walk into a business and really get a job.
Right. But it's like them kind of putting in work, though, too, paying dues. You know what I mean? Kind of, you know, checking out different.
How long you going to pay dues, man? Eventually, them dues is going to pay off, just like I told the program director. In 5 years, I want to be in your seat. You still want to be doing local hip-hop videos 5 years from now for $250?
No, not at all.
Some of them do.
Yeah, they're down. They're down.
And that's okay, man.
And they look like they're $250.
They definitely look like. I remember when I first got my real TV job. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I walked in, I had my resume, I had my reel, I had all this stuff that I did. And I remember the dude looking at me and was like, yeah, that's cool, but what have you done for real? And to me, I took offense to that, because to me, that was real. That was real. That was as real got. This is what I've done. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, you start working, but then you also understand that once you step and you cross over to that professional level, or whatever you want to call it.
It's a whole different game.
they still do the same bullshit. They still try to cut corners. They still be trying to rush deadlines. They still miss deadlines. They still don't really know what they doing. They fake it till they make it. But then what happens when you make it? You've been faking it for so long, you don't even know how to act, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So doing local videos and doing professional stuff, there really isn't no difference. The only difference is, for one, the egos are a lot bigger. You know what I'm saying? But I could respect somebody with a $1 million ego that's provided $1 million worth of shit than a $1 million ego. And bro, you're not even doing this for real. You got to check out from your real job before you play video guy or before you play rapper. Like, dude, go ahead and take your calls at the call center. No disrespect to anybody that got a job, but bro, you're not a rapper. If you're a rapper, you rap. You can't wait until, oh man, I got to go to work. I got to check out. You know what I'm saying? When I clock out and get off of work, then I'll go ahead and do rapper if my baby mama will take me to the studio or something like that. But those are the type of people that I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But you dealt with them too.
Wasn't that bad.
Oh, it was.
I get what you're saying for sure, 100%. But there is some good production here. There's some good stuff. But you're right. Anything under $250, then definitely get shit.
And the good production that you're talking about, which I'm not, they are. They're I've seen it. The level has definitely stepped up. Right. But those people that you're talking about, they elevate. You know what I'm saying? They start doing better videos. They start doing better stuff. Other shit too. And then they start seeing that the world's a lot bigger, because like it's no different than somebody from the hood. I know people that ain't never stepped outside of the Bells. They ain't never stepped outside of the east side. Exactly. They live on the east side, and you live in Aurora, and they're like, yo, that's just too far. And I'm like, yo, it's 15 minutes away. That's your mindset.
Depends on the time of day, bro.
You know what I'm saying? True enough. But you know what I mean. No, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, if you're going to elevate. Right. But if you're not going to elevate and you're going to stay stagnant, then stay stagnant. But you can't be mad when other people are, but then I've also understood that I can't keep up. You know what I'm saying? I can't do everything. Like some of these youngsters, man, they slick. The technology and everything. So you just take a step back. And if I could help a youngster or help somebody, put them on the game or give them an opportunity, I'm always for that. I might be an asshole, but I'm very generous as well. And I don't feel the game is supposed to be sold and not told. I'll tell you anything you want to know. You got to figure out how to make the money off of it.
Right.
That's your business. I'm not going to fish for you too, cook it, feed you, clean the dishes afterwards. Like, damn, man, wipe your ass too? What you going to do in the game, bro? Step up. Yeah, what are you doing for you? So.
No, for real. I mean, you've always shown me mad love, dog. You know what I mean? And, always come through for different shit. I want to even say, I was telling someone this the other day. I think I asked you I was looking for beats for like an intro or some shit. And I asked you for beats. You sent me like fucking 50 beats. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, like.
Yeah, most people, I think a lot of people have a misconception like, oh, Lenn thinks he's better than us, or Lenn, whatever. Lenn's an asshole or whatever. I'm unapproachable, which is true to a certain extent. But if you come to me and you let me know exactly what time it is, I'll fucks with you.
Right.
But if you sit there and you hit me with this, oh, man, I'm struggling right now. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. And then I listen to your music and I'm like, well, where's this guy at? Because I'm hearing a whole bunch of braggadocious, fugazi, fuckboy shit. Like, dude, you're not even keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect people who don't keep it real in their music or their art. You know what I'm saying? You're just doing it to make some money off of it, or to get some radio play, or to get your DJ to spin, your record and stuff like that. Like, most DJs will spin your shit because they want to play the hottest shit. Most DJs want to play the hottest shit. But if you give the DJ some whack shit, they're not going to fuck up their night playing your shit. Even if you pay them, like, they might play it, but hey, look, you want to know how good your shit is? Play it at the club. You'll see exactly what time it is. Either A, they going to jam, or B, they going to sit their ass down or go get a drink. I'm not going to give somebody like K-Tone my music. You know what I'm saying? K-Tone's not going to play my shit in the club because we don't make club music. You know what I'm saying? My shit is more for like lounges, more for just some happy hour, just chill vibe. You rolling in the car and stuff like that. So I would never hit K-Tone or DJ Squizzy or, you know what I'm saying, whoever. I don't even know the DJs right now, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't hit them with the music that we make because that's not what it's for.
Lane.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I make music that I want to make, and I ain't trying to impress nobody. You like it, you like it. You don't. The people that listen to it, they tend to like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting a whole bunch of streams. I ain't rich off of it, but it makes me feel better internally, which to me is more, and at least I own my own shit. I don't have to answer to nobody. I ain't got no front man, you know, fronting my studio time or paying for my wardrobe and paying for my, like, this is all out of pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose.
Nah, for sure, for sure. And what do you do now? And what have you been doing? Like, talk about all the video editing and all that, like working.
Now I work for stars.
Right.
So I work on like marketing campaigns. So like the stuff you see on social media, like this show's coming up, or you know, this premiere and stuff like that, or the commercials and stuff that you see.
Right.
That's what I do.
Well, then let's take it back. Before you were actually weren't you making shows or editing shows?
Yeah, I was working for a company called High Noon, which did like reality TV. So I was doing more editing and like the audio mixing for shows like Fixer Upper and Cake Boss and Extreme Water Parks and this show called Prospectors and, you know, stuff like that. I was doing like reality TV.
And that's what you were talking about earlier, just using your skills in a professional, you know, area where you can actually make some good money. You know what I mean?
I just never really wanted to work, I guess, I've worked a regular job before. Right. But I didn't, you know, put in all this time, you know, go to school and get these degrees and stuff like that just so I could go work just a regular job. Like, I haven't worked a regular job outside of the industry, and I'd say 20 years.
All right.
So this is what I do. Like, this is what I do. Like,
right.
When somebody be like, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I do music." "Nah, nigga, you work at such and such." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If they ask you what your hobby is, then you could say doing music. But if you ain't really making no money off of this, you can't really say music is your job. You can't. If you cannot pay a bill or, you know, satisfy your financial obligations, music or anything else, bro, it's a hobby.
Right.
I play video games all the time. That's my hobby. I know some people that's making millions of dollars off of playing video games. That's what you do. Right. You know what I'm saying? I do video editing. I do audio engineering. I do, you know, mixing and mastering. If somebody wants beats, we got beats. I mean, I don't really do features and stuff like that. You ain't gonna hear Lenny Lenn on a feature. Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a certain level of exclusivity. You can't just be everything to everybody, because then you end up looking like a fucking prostitute that'll fuck anybody for $5. And I ain't trying to be that.
You got people on your shit?
Do I have people on my stuff? Mm-hmm. My brother.
Him and his brother?
That's it. Me and my brother, Aries Jackson. That's who we go by. And, you know, we do all the beats, all the mixing, all the mastering. That's it. My brother, you know, if he wanted to get on somebody's shit, that's his business. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to get an Aries Jackson feature.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't do my own shit. I don't do my own. Like, all the stuff that we do now is we do our music. Yeah.
So, real quick, if Foe hit you up tomorrow and said, "Hey, Lenny, I want a verse."
Nope.
You ain't doing it?
Nope.
Is there anyone that you would do it for?
Not from Colorado. I mean, you have to be somebody, like, it has to be like the opportunity of a lifetime. Like, far stretch, like Jay-Z wanted a verse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Outkast was doing a reunion album and was like, "Yo, man, we heard y'all shit, man. We want y'all to fuck with us on some shit." It has to be somebody like that. But as far as me doing a verse for a Colorado artist, nah, I'm not in demand like that either. So, I mean, you know, I don't think anybody's going to sit there and be like, "Oh, well, you know, Lenn ain't getting on our verse." Most people's probably like, "Who the fuck is he anyway? We don't give a fuck." You know what I'm saying? Not like people are beating down the door.
Hey,
you know
shit, if they need shit mixed, mastered, like you said, they need beats. You know what I mean? You got all that video. I don't know if you still do videos, but, you know, probably not if the price was right.
I mean, if the price was right, but my thing is this, like how you was saying, like, I don't want to do a video, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I got a $200 budget, then that's what it's going to look like. How is that beneficial to me? That's not helping me. That actually makes me look worse, because I just don't really do that. I mean, I have the network and I have the resources where if somebody really, really wanted to do a ill-ass video.
That's what I was just about to ask. What would be a good budget for like an ill-ass video? Would it be more than 1,000?
I would say
Maybe could we get away with 1,500? No, 2.
Nope.
Talking like 5,
I'm
10
talking about at
Gs,
least
something
5 to
like
10 G's.
that. To do
Because
something tight?
Right.
to do a tight video, not the videos that you see now where it's just one camera shot,
Right.
a little bit of movement and stuff like that. It's a whole bunch of niggas standing in front of their cars with some girls twerking, you know what I'm saying, in the neighborhood. Like, I'm talking about like a real video that
Right.
you actually see on TV. Yeah, I would say starting at about 5 to 10. I mean, some of these videos have budgets of $500,000, $750,000.
And that's what I was just going to get to, too, as well. I was just watching the Busta Rhymes video, Put Your Hands Over My Eyes, and he's, like, painted up, like, at least 6 different times. I'm alone, like, God damn, that's, like, 6 different, probably, days where, because you figure you get painted up all red. It's not like, you know what I mean? You got to get all that shit washed off, da-da-da. He's, like, painted up, like, 6 times in that video, and that's not even counting all the dancing and all the other fucking crazy shit running from the elephant.
No.
What's a video like that you think costs?
That's $1 million video. That was a
Easily.
Hype Williams video. That's $1 million.
Video.
That's when they was doing them videos for like $1 million because you got to pay for like the elephants and the animal handlers and stuff like
yeah.
that. Now, the video dudes now will show up with one camera. They're shooting. You know what I'm saying? They might have one person with them to set up some lights. If they got lights, most of the time they might be using natural lighting. You know what I'm saying? Outside lighting and stuff like that. And then they'll go and then they'll do the editing themselves. You know what I'm saying? $1,500. Some of these lenses cost more than $1,500.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I've heard.
Then you want to do like color correction, and then you might want some special effects and stuff like that. And you know, when you start doing that, I would say like, man, to do a video, like in all honesty, I probably wouldn't even talk to anybody about doing a video under 5,000. I would refer them to somebody else. Like, yo, there's other people that do videos more in your budget. You should probably talk to them. But if you have the money like that and you're really, you know, not saying that you're not serious, because I don't think that having the money makes you any more or less serious. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have a vision, but just not have the finances to do it. And that's okay too, but we can't make $250 look like 10,000. You know what I'm saying? And if you can find somebody that really can do that, shit, man, you better book
Jump
them
on
up.
that shit.
Book them up now. But yeah, I would say anything under $5,000 isn't really even worth my time.
Dang.
To do a video,
Right.
yeah, because if we're gonna do a video, bro, we're gonna do a video. We're not gonna, like, even with
Yeah,
Lazy
bullshit.
Sundays and stuff like that, like just shooting and stuff like that.
Nah,
that
that
was
was
running.
fucking-
That
we're
was
just making it
fun.
happen.
Yeah, that was just fun running gun shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. Yeah, I would say 5 to 10. We can make something happen.
Right. Well, you got a fucking long ass history, man. And I know you've been a million places, been to a million shows. What's some of the crazy things you've seen throughout the years? Just fucking either in the club or wherever, just fucking studio shit. Some shit that made you just like, God damn.
He wants the crazy shit.
Crazy shit.
I mean, I didn't really see too much crazy shit because I was definitely more behind the scenes.
Right.
But I would say some of the crazy shit I'd say that I saw, I remember we was at a show and the dude was like, hey, go get us some hyenas. I didn't know what the fuck that was. So he was like, basically go get him some girls. So I had to go into the audience and was just like randomly just picking chicks. I was like, yo, you want to go backstage? And
Who is this for?
I'll tell you off here. I ain't gonna say his name right now.
Was it like a major group or a Denver group?
You know who it was.
Oh.
It wasn't a Denver group. You was talking about the Cali Connects. You
Okay.
definitely, you mentioned him
Okay.
when we was talking off air. You know what I'm saying? You had mentioned one of the people. But I went and I was getting girls and stuff like that. And I was talking to this one girl and I was like, yo, you want to go backstage? And she was like, yeah. And her dude was there. And was like, well, let's go. And I was like, I said, hey, it's only for the females, bro. No disrespect or anything like that. And so I was like, I was just going to leave it be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She pressed it.
She was like, fuck him. I was like, oh, you just going to leave your dude right there? And she was like, yeah. Oh, so she went back. And we was downstairs, and I remember they was like, anybody who ain't fucking leave. You know, there's a couple girls that, you know, have respect for themselves, and they left. And there was some girls that sat there. She happened to be one of them. I was like, damn. And I don't know what happened because, you know, they went to the door, closed room or whatever, and she got out adjusting herself, and she went back out into the crowd and gave her man a kiss in the mouth.
Damn.
And I'm not sure what happened back there behind that door, but ugh. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of crazy. That was probably the most crazy thing
That's classic,
that I've seen. I mean, I've seen arguments.
But they
I've
be
seen
doing
fights.
that shit. Fuck.
I've seen people get guns pulled on them.
Remember the first time you seen the gun in the studio or not?
Yeah.
I remember that shit. Someone just popped one out, and I ain't
It
gonna say
wasn't
who I
just
was
one.
with either.
It wasn't just one. It was several. It was several guns in the studio when I went, but that was just kind of a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? I do remember we had did a video shoot with guns in the video, and the people in the video, they didn't have guns at the time, so I had to supply all the guns, and they was all my guns, and
You're a fool.
they were shaking, you know, trying to load the gun. They were trying to put the bullets in the
Why
clip.
were they loading them for the video?
The name of the song was called "Loaded Gun."
Okay. Probably not the safest one there, Lenny.
That was the name of the song. So I listened to the song, and like if I'm gonna do a video, I'm gonna listen to the song, and I'm gonna put a video together. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was funny. I'm sure he's listening. If he listens to this, he might laugh. I ain't gonna say his name though, but you know him.
That's hilarious, man.
Just look up the song, man.
I was gonna ask you, is any of that music online?
All
like
of
the like the one with Q Burst?
All of it. It's all online.
Shit,
So,
where can they find it?
I think the Q Burst one is on Bandcamp, if I'm not mistaken. You could just type in Q period Burst, BURSE, and it's the Adidas project. That's on there. All the stuff that we've done is on YouTube, either under Contenders or under Aries Jackson, which is spelled AIRES, not ARIES. And it's on all streaming sites, so you could go to Apple Music or Tidal or Spotify and type in Aries Jackson, and all the newer stuff. Like some of the older stuff isn't really there because we just didn't put it out like that. But like if you go to Contenders or Aries Jackson, you'll see a lot of that stuff. There's some stuff, like I said, with Solo on there. Her videos is on there. The Q-Burst videos
Is that
on
little
there.
documentary anywhere?
Yeah,
Where's that at?
that's on Contenders YouTube page. Yeah,
Man, you're gonna have to send me a link to this shit because I
Yeah.
definitely want to check some of the
No,
stuff out.
I'll definitely do that. I'll send you the link with the stuff that we did, and I'm sure you know other people have put some stuff. Yeah, put it up there, so it's all up there.
Hell yeah. Hey, how'd you get into freestyling? Because like you said, we collabed a couple times with the Lazy Sundays.
That's just, I mean, really, that's how it started. And it started because we used to do this thing, me, my brother, and two of the other homeboys. We did this thing called Preview Tuesday. So, babe, remember when the music came out? The new music always came out on Tuesdays. So literally, I was the one that I would go get like pretty much anything new, hip hop and R&B. I was at the store and I get it. I ain't even have to listen to it. So I get it, and then we would just get together either at my crib or in the car, or somewhere. We'd meet up at a neutral location, and we'd just roll up a couple, pour up some stuff, and we would just listen to the music and we would start freestyling over it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it started. And then we would go to school, like in study hall, and beat on the table, and we'd have like little shows. So me and my brother would always be rapping, and everybody else that would want to jump in to the cipher or whatever, they would always stop and be like, yo, y'all just keep going. So instead of like I'd never really liked mic hogs or people that just keep rapping like you ain't really saying nothing but nigga and motherfucker over and over again because you got to get your 2 syllables in to make sure your words match. So we'd always pass the mic back and forth, but then I'd pass the mic to somebody and they looked stuck, like they didn't know what to do with it. So my brother would end up picking it up and we'd just go back and forth. And we'd do that on the back of the bus, and then even at the locker.
South, right?
Yeah, this was the South. So people would just walk up and be like, yo, bust a flow, bust a freestyle. And even like really to this day, like I remember it was like maybe about 3 months ago, went to the liquor store off of Mississippi and Sable, and it
You
was
must
like
have freestyle at the liquor store.
it was like 4 people outside, and my brother hates going to that liquor store. He'd be like, "Bro, we gotta go here," and I'm like, "Yeah," you know what I'm saying? So, I remember getting out the car, and it was like 4 people that was freestyling, and I kind of looked at them, and I went into the liquor store and got what I needed to get, and I was walking out, and it was they were still freestyling. And did you ever see that movie Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember when Beat Rad was walking and they called his name and he stopped and he turned around and was like, "Man, I can't help it, I just gotta go."
Right.
So I went and I walked over there and my brother was like, "Fuck, man, like, dude, you're gonna go over here?" And I was like, "I can't help it." So they were just freestyling to me. I'm just standing there kind of listening. And one of the dudes was like, "You got something to say?" And I was like, "Nah, not right now. Y'all go ahead, keep going." And I just kind of let the energy build up. And then this one dude went and then he stopped, like he fumbled. And he
picked it
stopped
right
and
up.
I just picked it up. And I just kept going. And then it was like the crowd started getting bigger. And I was like, "Yo, man." And then I seen the police roll by. And I was like, "Oh, it's time to go."
Right.
It's time to go. But I mean, I'm a sucker for a cypher, man. I am. I am. It's like if I'm standing there, like everybody starts freestyling stuff like that, unless you're super whack. And I just don't, I'm not moved. But if I hear some decency, I'll be like, yeah, I'll say a line or two.
Spit some shit.
All right. Well, we're gonna have a couple ciphers here, man. We're gonna have to invite you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come spit with us.
I'll get down.
You've done it before. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was like a regular, man. I had a couple people that were regulars on the Lazy Sunday, like you and fucking J Money, like. You know what I mean? And what's funny is I tell people this all the time. When we were doing the Lazy Sundays, I don't know if you remember, but like the first season, we're smoking Reggie. And at the end, like I remember like J Money talking about that shit, like the stems and the seeds and this is bullshit. And then the second season, literally like fucking medical marijuana becomes legal and we have all our fucking...
We got a bigger budget. Everybody had the little pill bottles.
Bro.
Everybody had their pill dispensary bottles.
And we was getting high as a motherfucker. It was funny, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
That was fun. I remember, man, it was, because Dent was there. I remember Dent came through.
Right, fucking Deals would always come through.
Deals would come through.
Turner.
That's how I met Deals. That's how I met Turner.
Turner Jackson.
Surge was there with us a couple of times. Yeah, J
Fucking
Money.
YG.
Yeah. That was, that was fun. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, we was putting in work. And I'm not saying these kids ain't putting in work now. I mean, they are. And I say, I'm not one of them old dudes that's like, yo, these youngsters ain't doing
There's
shit.
some that are. There's some that are putting in the work, and you can tell.
Yeah, but there's some that suck too. But there's some that suck from our era. There's always going to be some people that suck. But that's also subjective too, because what sucks to me, you might think is dope as fuck.
It's wild.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't hear the same thing, because, like, to me, like, I think Jay-Z is, like, the best ever. But then I got a partner that fucking hates Jay-Z's guts, and he thinks he sucks.
That's where I'm at. I mean, he's all right.
Jay-Z is the best to me.
I think Reasonable Doubt was tight. It's a classic. And my only other album that I like that he's ever did is the, I just had the name of it. It's one with all of them on. It's like a compilation almost.
Oh, the Dynasty?
Now that shit rocks too. But
I'm
Bleak
definitely
and
a Nas fan. Nas is.
I like Nas.
He's like, yeah, but that whole thing happened between them two. I was definitely like, oh yeah, Nas. But I like Jay-Z too. He has some really dope production. He kills, his shit is dope. But I don't know. I think there's on my list, there's a few rappers that I'm like, all right, they're a little bit better.
I can't really think of any of the youngsters right now that really like I like Little Baby. I like him.
Right.
I just don't like the sound. Like, I hate that fucking auto-tune whiny shit that Lil Wayne made famous with Lollipop. It's like that's what every rapper aspires to sound like. Like, I like Kendrick. I like J. Cole.
Yeah.
I don't, is his name Lut? Lute. He has a album called Goldmouth. Yo, that shit jamming. I think he's on Dreamville. I think he's with J. Cole and them's camp. I like Earth Gang. I think Earth Gang is dope as fuck. I like Jid.
Jid is the shit. J.I.D. is...
I like Mozzie a lot. I really
Mozzie's
like
tight.
Mozzie.
dope, yeah.
I like Mozzie. I like Toby.
Toby Nwigwe?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Hey, real quick, do you fuck with Burner?
I know Burner differently.
Right.
I don't know him as the rapper. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't fuck with his music like that. But he's making noise though. I see he's
Like,
he makes the Forbes list, bro. Did you see
Oh
that?
yeah, I'm sure.
But it wasn't from
No,
rapping.
Yeah.
but I mean, he has the perfect plan, dog. When he can go to like Snoop Dogg or even Young Dolph and say, "Hey, do a whole album with me. I'll give you 0.00001% of cookies." You know, if I say no, it's still
Right.
like millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean? And look how many albums he has. Like, he has albums with Young Dolph. He has albums with Be Real, an album with Mozzie. That shit's hard. Like, you need to peep that shit. Like, at first I was like, but then, you know what I mean?
I mean, I've listened to him. I just ain't. He don't move my needles. I'll say that. But I mean, he definitely has a following. He's definitely came up. You know what I'm saying? He's came a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So, you know, and plus he's diversifying his portfolio where it's not just rapping or it's not just weed, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually turning it into a legit business.
Fucking, yeah, a good ass brand.
And he's probably making more money legit than, you know, doing it on the side. Because, you know, let's be real. Like, selling weed at one point was not legit. Like, now you go open a dispensary and ball the fuck out. But there was a time you had to call the weed man. You know what I'm saying? And hope it wasn't a drought. You know what I'm saying? Hope he wasn't out. I
Right.
hope he could come through and not you be sitting there waiting for. Remember
2
you had to
days.
sit and
Yeah,
wait
yeah,
for the
yeah,
weed, man.
for real.
Thought y'all was hustling, bro. What part of the guy thought you was getting money? You can't get money. You sitting there playing Madden and shit like that.
My homie Toast was the chronic man, and it would always be like a 2-3 day bullshit. Like, oh, I'm eating lunch right now, bro. All right, well, cool. Shit, when you get done, can you swing by? Yeah, I'll be right there. Fucking nothing. You know
But
what I
even
mean?
the
Not
weed
answering
man was the
phone.
worst one for the fucking notorious for getting high on your own supply.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You always smoke a little
rule.
more.
You smoke
than you
more.
were supposed to.
Exactly. You're smoking more than you're selling. Like, you're smoking or you're selling to support your weed habit. And
Right.
most weed men that I knew definitely smoked more than what they sold.
Like that. People that were
You couldn't-
just people that were just like they sell weed to their homies. People come grab a bag from them. Yes, absolutely. But like I know cats back in the day moving 10 packs, 20 packs at a time, and they were making real paper. They were pinching a little bit and they were smoking. You know, it wasn't enough.
But them wasn't the
So-
ones that you would call for the weed man to get you a
Nah,
little
nah,
20
nah,
sack
nah,
or
never
something
that,
like
yeah,
that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, you didn't.
That was
the
why
plug
I
of the plug.
never ran out of weed. I always it's like I got. Some.
I didn't even know what a
Want
drought
some.
was.
I remember I dropped with Reggie one time for almost like a month. And like it wasn't nowhere. And I had a plug, bro, and like nothing. And like I remember it was like a month, and you're buying chronic the first couple of weeks, but that shit got expensive because back then it was 100 a quarter, 300 a zip.
If you could find it, if you could
Ex-
find some good shit,
Yeah.
too. Like some people wet that shit down and rip you off. Like it was.
No,
it
for
was a
real. I
cold
bought
game.
some stupid ass
It was
shit
a
like
cold
that.
game back
I
in the
miss
day.
Reggie,
You know what
though.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Can we bring Reggie back? Can we bring that brick back?
Absolutely not. But I
Exactly.
understand what you're saying, and I do too. I miss the nostalgia behind it. I miss that it was, but it's not the same no more. There's
Right.
not-
When's the last time you smoked Reggie?
Oh, it's been a minute.
A couple years actually. One of these little young cats I know just was like, "Look what I got."
See,
Like,
man, you hit some Reggie. That's like that
That's some
nostalgia
crazy
right
shit.
there. You know
I
what I'm
did
saying?
smoke
You
it.
probably have a headache in them
I did.
seeds.
I
It's
was-
gonna
Nah,
be
you
popping
probably
shit.
high as fuck.
No,
You
I
might
didn't.
be.
No,
You be
I thought
high
that.
as-
Honest to
It
God,
wasn't some good Reg
I thought
then.
that it was decent Reggie. It was like cool. I remember it wasn't like the fire Reggie you used to
Right.
get back in the day, but it was like not that nasty seeded brown shit that
Tear up your
a bunch
fingers
of
trying to
cat-
break.
yeah.
That's why y'all had to get them
It wasn't
grinders. You
that-
don't need no grinders for the
It
fluffy.
wasn't that.
Nah.
It wasn't that either. So it was like right in between, and it smelled good. I thought, bro. I mean, come on. I smoke eighth woods.
I know, but I used to switch that shit up back in the day, bro.
Yeah,
Because
but
you
it's because
couldn't
you were
always.
smoking bowls though.
Nah, not
That's
at
why-
all. I've always smoked blunts, and I'll even go with this back, like going back. Like I used to
I
kick.
was smoking bowls.
I used to kick it with
That's just
someone.
because that shit was fun. Or
When I
joints.
kind of start smoking weed, no, I kind of started smoking blunts. I used to kick it with this chick, and what she would do is she would get an ounce of Reggie, break that shit down, and roll 4 Philly Titans, and we would literally not always smoke 4 of them back to back, but we would go until we couldn't, and that's how she smoked. You know what I mean? And we always smoke blunts. And like when I was doing the music, I would do that because I like to have chronic every now and then, but I would smoke chronic for a week, and I hit the Reggie. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
never
that shit-
smoked a bowl.
No,
Nah, I didn't fuck with pipes.
I feel
Pipes
that.
always reminded me of crackheads.
See, I feel that too, and I understand that. I mean, most of the people I knew were junkies and shit back in the day. But I first time I ever smoked weed, kill was with these white kids, and they had pipes.
You know,
and
white
so,
boys smoke
yeah.
both.
And so I'm like,
Kind
and
bud.
they're like, and it's a sick ass pipe. It's like not anything like I seen anybody smoking anything else out of, you know.
Oh, it wasn't a pipe. That was, they
So,
called it glass
it was-
at the time.
It was
No,
glass,
yeah, yeah,
heady.
You know what
It was
I'm
a
saying? Right,
heady.
exactly.
And it was tight as fuck. And so like I'm like, oh, tight, yeah. And they're showing me what's up, and they're the ones who have the fire.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
I know what you're talking about.
Fire. And it was like a different thing because my cousins always had the brick weed. That was like, you know, it was dope. I had a really cool childhood because of them. But at the same time, like when I found chronic, like some fire, it was these white kids in Boulder.
See,
They
that was the
put
thing. The
me
white
on,
boys always
bro.
had what they called the kind bud.
Right.
The essays
kind.
always had the brick weed or the
Yeah.
Reggie. You know what I'm saying? Or the
Yeah.
hood dudes always had the Reggie. And every now and then they would, because they called it dough at the time. They started calling it
some
Indo
dough.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
Indo,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But I was like, I remember this white boy was like, I got some kind bud, and I was like, the fuck is that?
Yeah.
We just smoke weed over here, man. He was
I
like,
know,
no,
bro.
this is good. And then I remember my older brother, it came from Seattle, and he was like, y'all smoke weed out here? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what y'all smoking out here? And I had some Reggie, and he looked at it and was like,
What the fuck?
he was like, no, I don't think we supposed to be smoking this shit right here. What is this? I don't know about this. And he pulled out some weed, and it was purple. That was the first time I ever seen purple weed in my life. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And he was like, oh, man, y'all ain't got purple out here? I was like, not that I've seen. And he was like, oh, okay. Y'all will. And but that was right around the time that the dispensaries had started opening up and stuff like that. And
See, I seen it the first time I seen purple. It was growing in one of my friend's basement.
oh,
And
okay.
he had I don't know where he got this genetic. It was so fire, and it might just be because the nostalgia behind it. But that was like some of the firest purple I ever smelt or tasted. It was like, and it wasn't big buds. Like he didn't kill it by no means. It was homegrown, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fire as fuck. It was really good, tasty flavor. I never had no purple like that.
Yeah, I ain't never had no
again.
purple either.
Right.
And I remember my little sister's boyfriend at the time was trying to hang out, and it was like, I smoke. And my dad was like, hey, man, nah. He was like, I don't think so, man. You might want to take it easy. And he was like, no, I'm good. Mm-mm. That boy almost passed out. I was like, because me, like, even when I was smoking at the time, like, I was never the type that kept smoking just to try to impress somebody.
Right.
I knew my limit.
Right.
I'm high, I'm good, man. Y'all go ahead, y'all can smoke as much as y'all want to enjoy. But I seen people, like, literally just
Back to back to
keep
back. Yeah.
smoking. And I'm like, bro, you ain't high yet? I'm high, man. I'm good.
That's me.
And even getting too high, I
That's you.
never
I know
like
I'm
getting
on high.
too
And
high.
we just keep
Yeah,
smoking.
we
I'm
keep
like,
smoking.
Yeah, I get high.
I never like getting too high, bruh. Like I never like getting like I like that
All night
buzz.
long.
Yeah, but like getting all night, and I hated cottonmouth. Like
That's
I hated
that's where
cottonmouth.
now I'm like, damn,
Right.
these cups are not big enough right now.
Oh man,
No,
you
I
done
hate
killed
those cups. That's why I had to stop to
I forgot.
just to make sure I
left my
have
water
the
bottle.
cup, bro.
I left my water bottle.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny though is y'all both talk about those stories, and I have a story that hits both of them, bro. Cause like I remember one of the first times getting introduced to chronic was up in Boulder.
Yeah.
And I had met this fool, like, actually not up in Boulder, but in college, kind of the same thing. But when I was in college, we went to a couple Grateful Dead concerts. You know what I mean? And we went to that shit, and, like, a cat that was in my fraternity, he was in the same fraternity here in Boulder. And I've seen him a couple of times, you know what I mean? At the fucking, like you talk about the Grateful Dead shows, and he was selling shirts, and he would always have the chronic and mushrooms and everything, you know what I mean? So when I would come back home to Denver, I would always go up to Boulder because I knew a gang of fools up there that were in the same fraternity. But I went up there to go meet them, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got bud. And we're at like some party up in Boulder, and everyone's on the porch and on the grass smoking with little pipes, glass. Like all you see is lighters, and everyone's getting high. I'm just like, damn. And then he asked me about the weed I got, and it's some fucking brick weed. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, nah, you know. I mean, we can smoke this shit. I'll roll a blunt, but you don't probably really want to smoke this if y'all.
I see what you guys are smoking.
Yeah. And it was like, I swear, like 100 people, and it was all like, you know, people with long hair, bro, kind of almost hippie Boulder motherfuckers going to school. It was,
Birkenstocks and hacky sacks.
it was
That shit was
wild.
popping then, too.
Yeah.
I've been
I've been to a couple parties up in Boulder that blow your mind, man. But yeah, it was was definitely.
Oh,
That's
no.
the first time I seen it too.
They were trying to get back to that love child.
We kicked it in Boulder tough. Yeah, we definitely kicked it in Boulder tough
You
when
had
I was in
to.
college. Yeah.
You couldn't do no hip hop shit in Denver, anyways. Like they were allowing that shit.
Nah, because that's when Francois and them was killing it up there.
Boulder was the shit. That was the spot
With
to do it.
Mecca,
There was
with
B-boy
Mecca.
shows, everything.
Yeah, Francois and them was, yeah.
You didn't have to worry about getting shot up there.
Nope.
Also that.
Nope. You definitely didn't. There wasn't no
You
problem
didn't
like
drive
that.
all the way to Boulder to get shot. So
Hell
everybody was
no.
chilling.
Most
There
of the
was,
time, you
hip
just.
hop heads.
It was just some drunk white boys that would start tripping.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the football players was always,
Fuck
you know.
you guys,
yeah.
dude.
It's fucking dude. That, yeah, but DU was another school, too. That actually, man, we had some parties at DU.
I've been to a fun party at DU. I was
There's money.
one of those.
They got
one of those-
money at
That's
DU.
a
one of those where you
Yeah,
mark it
no.
on the calendar. Like that was a crazy
They
time.
got
Like
money at
DU was
DU.
one of
DU
them.
for a minute.
Yeah.
I chilled at Auraria. I went to some really crazy parties at Auraria campus student housing too. The original one. Like it was,
See, they didn't have dorms at the time.
at the time they didn't
Nah.
have them back then. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
See,
But there was
that was
always
later
those
on.
those apartments downtown.
Yeah.
There was
yeah,
those
yeah.
apartments downtown. I was
Right,
like, oh,
right.
or across the street. And
There
I
was
didn't-
those
the
one. Well, they
projects
had
or
that
whatever.
building. They had that building already though back in the back that had student housing, and that was where the first parties I went to. They redid it, restructured it, did the whole thing again. But it was it's by Meow Wolf.
Okay.
All right.
Meow Wolf is dope. We went there too. That shit is dope. I like that
Pretty
place.
dope.
Yeah, I like that
Pretty
place.
dope. I went to the one in New Mexico.
That's the one I want to go to. Is that better? I heard it was better because that's like the
All right,
original one.
it's definitely, you could see that it was more like people did what they had.
Okay.
They made it work. It
Okay.
was creative.
It's more though
and
ghetto.
It's definitely more makeshift and a little more.
Where's it at, New
stitched
Mexico?
Together in
Is it
Santa
Albuquerque?
Fe.
Oh, Santa Fe. Okay.
And it's dope. The venue's in the middle of it. I want to go to a show there. Like that shit would be dope. It's like,
Okay.
it's pretty dope. You walk through a house and you go to another dimension. It's fucking
Word,
sick.
yeah.
Here it's like corporate, and you walk in and you go, and even
Hi.
that's how they're trying
Like
to be
Jurassic
though.
Park.
But that's how
Hi,
they're trying
yeah.
to be too, and it's dope. I like what they did. You're about to blast off to another dimension,
Uh-huh.
and it's cool. Like you get on a spaceship.
That's the real.
But everyone at this Meow Wolf, it's not as they had the material, they had the money to the
It's a little
budget.
more organic then.
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
saying.
it was-
Okay.
it definitely, but it's Denver's tighter. I think,
Yeah.
as far as big as it is, and as creative as it was, the
Okay.
material they used, everything.
All right, for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I want to be there right now, actually.
I got one last question for you, bro. Before we cut this, you remember the first time you smoked weed?
Yeah. Yep. I was 16 years old, and it was at TJ,
Oh shit.
and we had ditched. It was this dude. His name was Canandis, and I remember going. We had ditched class, and we was all hanging out over some people's house, and they were smoking, and he was like, "You smoke?" And I was like, "Oh hell yeah, yeah, I smoke." And he was like, "All right." So I got to take back my statement about I never smoked a bulb, because the first time I did smoke was out of a 3-foot bong.
Oh shit.
And I was like, "Yo, I ain't never smoked out of one of these. How you do it?" So they showed me, and I remember they was like, "Yo, just pull. You'll hear the water bubbling,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna take this out, and all the smoke's gonna, you'll get the smoke."
Yeah.
I remember pulling,
All right. No, we're just going.
and that fool pulled that shit out, and that smoke hit me in the chest. I swear to God, both my lungs exploded and collapsed at the same time. That shit was on fire. I remember going outside, and I couldn't really breathe. I remember trying to catch my breath and stuff like that. And then finally, like, I remember my chest being on fire. But then after that feeling went away, I felt awesome. Like,
Right.
that feeling was fucking great. And I remember they turned on Master P. It was Master P, and Break 'Em Off Something came on with UGK. And it was the illest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I just remember sitting there, and I was just bobbing my head. And they was like, "You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm straight." And then I remember I was like, "All right, it's time to go home." So I had to catch the bus to the crib.
Right.
And I remember I was walking to the bus stop, and I remember I passed a Taco Bell. Hit Taco Bell. Walked a little further, hit a Burger King. Gotta go to Burger King. And I just remember just eating up a gang of shit. And I got home and I was still hungry. And I just remember I could not stop grinning. I just was grinning like fucking ear to ear, just smiling. And then that was pretty much it. I ain't never been that high ever again in my life that first time. Except maybe that time I smoked that perp. And then it was kind of that same kind of feeling like that. But yeah, I was 16 years old. I remember that.
That's crazy, bro, because not too many people talk about taking a big old bong rip the first time they get high. For real, that's the first time out of like maybe like 200 episodes.
That's
like,
what happens
real.
when you try to show out and be cooler than what you really is, and you pay the fucking price. Like that shit burned.
Let's go.
A 3-foot bong, and you took it like you tried to take it like a G, but nah. Right, like I done smoked like smoke dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck that.
Like Smokey over there.
Never smoked a bong ever again, though. Never smoked a bong ever. Nope. I was blunts. I remember trying to roll a blunt. I went through a whole pack of Swishers, and then that last one, I mean, it looked raggedy as fuck, but I mean, shit, it was the last blunt wrap, so we gonna have to make it work. We had to hold it with 2 hands like a fucking flute or something like that, so it wouldn't. It kept
separate.
You know what I'm saying? It kept running and shit like that. It was raggedy as fuck, but it did. I mean, it did what we needed it to do. But I did. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely took it took a whole pack, because that's what they used to sell them in the 5s. And well, it wasn't cigarillos. It was Primos. Perfectos, that's what it was.
Damn.
Swisher Sweet Perfectos, the fat daddy ones. You know what I'm saying? You got to split it, and then I got good where I could split it with my nail. You know what I'm saying? I'd roll it up driving and stuff like that. Like I was pretty good at rolling blunts, man. I never fucked with like backwoods. It was only Swishers.
Right, we didn't smoke that shit back in the day. That's like new shit.
Them shits was gross,
other
man.
cats were doing it back in the day.
I don't
like,
ever
in other
remember
places.
anyone smoking like backwoods at all, bro.
I remember my uncle used to smoke backwoods, but the cigars.
Oh, the actual cigar.
He had them in his mouth.
Oh, okay.
He just tried to look cool.
That's some old man shit.
Corny ass fool.
I remember my neighbor, fool. He was like an old white man like that. He used to smoke cigars, and like he used to have these little nephews that came down. They would steal his snuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, that shit gross.
Shit, bro. Like some stupid. You know what I'm saying?
I be seeing the white dudes be eating that shit.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Spitting in they juice thing. I'm like, that shit gross, man.
No, this was like some fucking. It was like snuff was like some powder shit that was like.
I thought you were talking about the tobacco
snort
shit.
that
That
shit.
was later. This was some like in a little round circle, bro. Yeah, and you put it on your like thing, and you would take a fucking hit of it.
Oh, that's coke, bro. That wasn't even no snuff. That was coke,
wasn't
bro.
Coke, bro. No, this was some shit. They
Snuff.
probably still
It's
sell
still
it this
a thing.
day.
It's
They
still
probably
a thing.
still
It
sell
is.
Snuff is coke for
It's
coke
not-
for coke.
No, bro. This is
It's
you get
coke
this-
for tobacco head.
Oh no.
And then I thought these fools were all
It's
cool.
a shot of nicotine in your brain.
It's a shot of nicotine, fool. It's crazy.
You snort it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it's
Like,
a
watch,
thing.
Google that shit.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
that.
terrible.
Cool.
It's like some tobacco you snort.
Only thing I ever fucked with was weed and drink. That's it.
This is when we were like little kids. So like I said, this was like some older shit. This is what they did back in the day.
Oh man.
Like my neighbor fool was like a cop in Denver with like a billy club in the sewers. Like that's back. He didn't have a fucking gun. You know what I mean? So his shit, like that's a whole different generation.
Oh,
That's
man.
that Model A.
He was a flatfoot.
like,
A flat, you spin a little baton around.
yeah.
Oh
Dog.
no.
So think of this. He actually owned like this fool that lived on the corner. He actually owned 3/4 of the block.
Oh no shit.
And end up selling like 4 houses on the block. Like, yeah, he was like when they were like older white people that had money. Like, you know what I mean? That you know what I mean?
That's what my goal is. I want to own my whole cul-de-sac. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 houses, including mine. Well, 6 houses, including mine. So pretty much that's my goal. I just ain't nobody moved yet. But that's really what I want to do is own every single house on that cul-de-sac.
Yeah, that's a fucking good ass goal, bro. Shit.
We're building up.
All right.
We'll see.
Hey, you got any shout outs, man? Any last scenes? Any final thoughts?
Nah, shout out Aries Jackson. Make sure you check them out.
For sure.
On every streaming site, AIRES Jackson. That's really the only shout out. Shout out to y'all for, you know what I'm saying, let me get on the mic and say some stuff.
Oh, for sure. This is definitely a dope podcast, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So appreciate
I'm sure
that.
there's even much more that we don't even know about that you've done. It's
Oh
crazy.
man, yeah. But you know, they'll find out. We call those Easter eggs. I always tell my brother, I was like, yo, they may not pay attention now, but eventually they're gonna go back and they're gonna realize how dope we were and what type of impact, regardless of whether I make a list or not, or whether, you know, the powers that be, you know, it used to bother me a little bit and be like, man, I ain't getting no props or nothing, and I've done some shit. Especially when I hear people, oh, I'm the first to do this, or shout out to such and such being the first, and I'm like,
I am.
Yeah, I mean, you're really not the first one to, you know, to do that. Especially when people talk about radio, like it fucking blows my mind. Like you don't mention me at all, and I've done some shit that even to this day I've yet to see anybody else do. Anybody. But you know, you don't always get your flowers when you can smell them. But as long as them fucking checks keep coming in, I'm cool, man. Right. As long as my little kids, like one of the coolest things, I remember when I did work for KS 107.5 and I did the first summer jam. And I remember going up on stage, which was like, that was a dream. And I go up on stage and they introduce me and the crowd starts crying, you know, screaming or whatever. And I heard my daughter in the audience. My daughter had to be 7 years old, 8 years old at the time. And I just remember saying, that's my daddy right there. That right there paid for everything. And then I got to take my son backstage to one of their shows, so he got to hang out with like Wiz Khalifa and Fat Joe and stuff like that. So he got to, you know, Dad was kind of cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? So then it got real bad real quick. And that working at that station fucked me up a lot. It took me into a really, really dark place. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to get out of. I think if I went back to radio now, my wife would probably divorce me.
She ain't having it?
She ain't. Like, she wasn't really having the radio station, KS, but she knew that I always wanted to work there. I made it there a year. And then I left. And because I was working both jobs. That was the thing about it. I was doing the radio and I was doing TV. So I'd literally wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make it to the station by 4, do all the show prep and everything so the show was ready to go by the time they walked in. Then I stayed afterwards to cut up the promos and the best stuff. So I didn't leave until maybe about 11:30, 12 o'clock sometimes. I would go home, take a quick little nap, and I would have to be back at my other job by 3. So I'd literally work there from 3 till about 11, go home, get a little bit of nap in, wake up, and do the radio station. I didn't do anything with that money from the radio station. Every single check I got, I pretty much put half of it in my daughter's account and the other half in my son's account. I didn't even touch that money. So, you know, shout out to KS for helping pay for my son's tuition.
For the dough.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely do appreciate that. And it was funny because it was sometimes I'd go to concerts and I'd buy my own concert tickets and I'd look back at KS 107.5 section and I was like, oh, that's what they gave y'all. That's the comp tickets. Unless you was the PD or the music director, and then you was greedy and you kept all the cool shit for yourself. I can't blame them. I'd have did the same thing.
I can see that happening.
I would have did the same thing. I mean, I'm the program director. The boss gets first dibs. I remember when I first went to Summer Jam, they gave me 2 tickets to Summer Jam in the line. And I was like, nah, fuck it. Y'all can keep these. I'll just buy tickets. So I ended up buying like 6 tickets in like the 4th row because I wanted my family to see me there. Right. And then the PD was like, well, how can you afford that? Shit, ain't with y'all's money.
For real, huh?
I wasn't there for the money. I definitely had plans. Just didn't pan out. But it's cool, you know. I ain't got no ill will towards anybody there. Me saying I wish everybody got fired was kind of fucked up to say, but I was in a fucked up place. I do regret saying that. But anybody still mad about it could kiss my ass. Because they know why I said that. They know what the fuck they did, and they know exactly why. The people that didn't get mad about it, they knew what I was talking about. The people that did get mad about it, I was definitely directing it towards them.
There you have it, shit.
Yep.
Said by Lenny Lenn.
That's pretty much it on my side. So,
all right, brother. Well, shit, we definitely appreciate you coming on by, man. I mean, it was a great time. Like I said, this was dope. You know what I mean?
It was good seeing you, man. I ain't seen you
dope
in a minute.
Podcast. Learned a lot. I didn't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to send you those links, though.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. It's your boy Joe Thunder. Got Elvis Presley.
Yo.
Find us on all platforms. We are out of here.
Peace.
See you later.